I can see ghosts since I was a child. However, I am still skeptical when it comes to seeing ghosts, and sometimes I cannot distinguish them from living people. This is the story of my experience. In the summer of my second year of high school, Yumi, a member of the same club, said to me, "It's summer vacation starting tomorrow, do you have any plans?" I had no particular plans, so Yumi invited me to stay over at her house. Yumi said, "Hey, I think there's a ghost in my house. Can you see it?" Yumi was the only friend who understands that I can see them. Yumi's house was located in the mountains nearly an hour away from the city, one of the villages where the legend of the fallen Heike clansmen is told. I rode the afternoon bus alone up the winding, narrow mountain road at a steady pace. I learned for the first time that Yumi took the school bus to school along this road every day. The house was next to a temple, with a cemetery between the temple and the house. When I asked her if her house was a temple, she said it was not. We had dinner with her parents and Yumi's sisters in the light of day, and were shown around the spacious house. It was a rather large and magnificent house with a tiled roof, and the first floor with several sitting rooms had a corridor around the outside of the house. It was just big enough that it would be hard to keep clean, she said. The ceilings were high, and log pillars were used as beams. I didn't think there was anything particularly creepy about the place, but I did feel a bit uncomfortable in the bathroom and toilet area. As is often the case in old houses, the spirits of ancestors sometimes stay in the water area. After seeing the house, Yumi and I took a bath together, and when we went up, the family was gone. They said that they always spent the night upstairs, because the ghosts came out at night. On the second floor, there was a small room about 6 tatami mats in size, where a family of 4 gathered to sleep. The house was originally a one-story house, but her father had built an addition. I felt suffocated by the tightly packed futon mattresses, so I suggested, "Shall we stay in the room downstairs?" Yumi said, "If we stay together, it's fine," and put the futon downstairs in the Buddhist room. We were now ready for bed, but it was only 7 p.m. We lay out on the futon with the lights on, and talked forever about our seniors, our classmates, and our future plans. Eventually, Yumi began to breathe in her sleep. As Yumi fell asleep, I suddenly felt very uneasy, so I left the glow lamp on and got under the covers. Perhaps it was because we are in the mountains, but it was surprisingly cool even though it was summer. I heard a faint rustling sound, perhaps the sound of the wind, and my nerves sharpened even though I was trying to sleep. Furthermore, I felt like going to the bathroom. It was the time when I was about to wake Yumi up. Suddenly I heard a noise from the hallway, like something being dragged. I let out a loud voice at the obviously weird noise. Yumi, wake up. Yumi opened her eyes immediately as if in a panic. And she said, "Bathroom." Yumi turned on the light, opened the sliding door, and stepped out into the dark hallway. There was no sound from earlier. I ran into the bathroom saying, "Sorry, sorry," so as not to scare her. When I got out, Yumi went into the bathroom, saying, "Wait for me." Then, I heard dragging again. "Yumi, are you in yet?" I couldn't resist and rushed Yumi, who had just entered. The sound was already around the corner. Then, I thought, well, I have to see what it is. Suddenly remembering what I had to do, I pushed aside my fear and hid behind the pillar, waiting for the sound to approach. Then, I saw a samurai in armors with a few straggly hairs walking, dragging something along with him. I looked closely, and saw that he was grabbing and dragging by the hair of an old woman in a kimono lying down on her back. Then, suddenly Yumi opened the door with a mighty bang and came out, running into the tatami room, pulling my arm. "Did you see that?" I nodded. I could feel myself getting bloodthirsty. The sound kept on playing, and my mind kept flashing back to that scene. We didn't go back to sleep and waited for morning to come, holding our breath. Her father asked me over breakfast, "Oh, so you see it too, can you practice exorcism?" But I told him that I could only see them. I don't know what to do about it. Maybe you should talk to the temple next door. I thought it would be convenient if the temple was next door, and that it was not my place. In the afternoon, a monk came to her house. He told me, actually, our temple was the gravekeeper for this family, and after that became the village temple long time ago. I told him about the scene I saw last night, and he then called on the head temple of the sect to hold a large memorial ceremony, and built a stone monument that would not be matched with the village. The monk said that when the ghosts are noisy, they think it is a harbinger of disaster, so they decided to go all out and hold a memorial ceremony. Since then, no more ghosts have appeared in Yumi's house. Yumi said, "I feel sorry for the old woman who has been dragged along as a ghost all these years. What actually has she done? Because she seemed to be a woman who served our ancestors, right?" Her question reminded me of one thing. There is a folk tale passed down in the area about an old woman who abandoned the baby of the lord of this place at the bottom of the valley. After the family line of the lord died out, the villagers were tormented for a long time by the lord who came from elsewhere. It is said that the old woman was the sister of the lord who came from elsewhere. I could not help but be horrified by the end of a person who had borne a grudge.